today. And following our normal practice, we will invite the representative of the organization to give a presentation here before the committee and receive questions. So, I would like to call upon the representative of the Union of Non-Governmental Associations, the International Non-Governmental Organization, the World Union of Cossack Atamans, to come to the podium.
Presentation to the committee members. Welcome, sir. You have the floor.
Уважаемый господин председатель, представители стран-членов комиссии по неправительственным.
Thank you, Chairman, representatives here in the committee and observers. Today, we are here in this room during a troubled period, arriving here at this session. I saw an interview with the Secretary General, and I'd like to share with you my thoughts. Today, reading Mr. Guterres' interview, we share his concern regarding peace, well-being, and security and safety of people inhabiting our planet. As a social organization representing the interests of people represented in more than 40 countries who endured the most severe cruelty and genocide and who never obtained justice, we feel the moral duty during this new phase of the Cold War to present our views, to say that we agree with the United Nations Secretary General that Western countries and Russia are engaged in very grave conflicts, and what we see as the main task ahead is to find a solution to this situation, doing the utmost so that the parties in conflict can engage in a dialogue, avoiding this conflict that is threatening the whole world. We are the only non-governmental organization that supported the President of the United States, but not only because he's a Republican, or the Republicans requested this of the American citizens, but also in the campaign. He promised to establish amicable relations with Russia and our president. We were the first of the Cossack organizations of the world to vote for Vladimir Putin, because we were sure that these two leaders would be able to guarantee for us not only protection of our rights, but that they would do everything possible, basing themselves on Christian values, love and justice, so that democratic principles, Western principles, can be confirmed among the people of the former Soviet Union. We feel sure that all those present are eager to see peace in Syria, and that Russia is moving along the right path with the peace process to help the country settle the conflict. We were all pleased to hear that the President of the United States was successful in combating nuclear weapons. And we hope that the North Korea regime will give up nuclear weapons. We were also eager and willing to help contribute to put an end to the conflict. Threatening the world. President Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, along with President Putin. We believe that the presidents of the United States and Russia should be outspoken candidly and resolve any differences. I'm thinking of President Zabayev of Kazakhstan as well. But this may not be possible. I believe what we need to do is all do what we can to make sure this is possible.
Пожалуйста, нет проблем.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you very much for to the representative of this NGO for being here with us today. Just wanted to clarify. We discussed during our last session that the intention is to give a brief description and overview of the organization and allow the committee members to ask questions and not read political statements. So it seems to me that this may be more in the order of a political statement. Just wanted to clarify the intention here. Thank you.
Agradezco a la distinguida delegada de los
I thank the distinguished representative of the United States for her point of order. And this is not a political forum. This is not the General Assembly. It's not the Security Council. And we would be most grateful to you if you could limit your statement to contributions that your organization has for Cossack, and what information do you have for the committee for any possible support to recommending the status to your organization. But I must say it is not appropriate to enter into political discussions or others other than what I have just requested. So if you wish, perhaps you could tell us more about what you do to request the status. If what you want to do here is have a political statement, we regret it, but this cannot be continued. I give you the floor for a reply to what I have just asked.
Хорошо. Я в третий раз выступаю.
Well, it's the third time that I address this session on behalf of my organization, and we have talked about our organization. We replied to all the questions that were put here by the representatives of Iran, Russia, Cuba. I can repeat that if you wish, if the questions are put again.
Perdón, veo al distinguido representante de la Federación.
But it would be a repetition of what I said.
Ahí se la concedo. Gracias.
Большое спасибо, господин председатель. Мы также приветствуем.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, we too would like to welcome the representative of the organization, and we congratulate him on the question of coming to New York several times to reply to our questions. This direct dialogue does allow us to have a more careful examination of the application. This is indeed not the time for a political discussion, even if it would possibly prove interesting to see the declaration in writing. However, we have some questions on the application of the organization for a consultative status. First of all, I'd like to ask for clarification. In one of your replies, you said the organization represents an indigenous population, and we know there is a mechanism in the United Nations for cooperation with indigenous peoples. The Committee on Indigenous Peoples meets here with participation with the expert mechanism in Geneva, and we'd like to know, is your organization one that has participated in the debates, or does it cooperate with those bodies?
Конкретно с органами мы не взаимодействовали, но на
We have not had any specific cooperation activity with the organization. However, at social level, we did indeed meet with delegations. We had meetings with parliamentary delegations from other countries, and we raised certain matters. But we did not feel any misunderstanding or any questions regarding positions that weren't clear.
El distinguido representante de China.
Thank you. I give the floor to the distinguished representative of China.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just welcome the representative from this NGO, from this organization. I just have a very a question that because I noticed that one of your aims and purposes is assisting in settling disputes and conflicts. So could you just provide some more explanation regarding this aspect? Thank you.
Gracias al distinguido.
I thank the distinguished representative of China. To follow the regulation, I must say that the 10 minutes are almost up. So what we can do is take questions and respect the members of the committee, allowing them to put any questions they wish. And then perhaps you'll send in your replies, because we cannot extend the session any further than the time allotted to each organization. I give the floor to the distinguished representative of the Russian Federation, followed by Iran.
Большое спасибо организации за ответ. Мы бы просто...
Thank you for the reply. A small point of advice, if I may. I would suggest that you participate in these bodies and mechanisms that do not require consultative status, and that might be one form of cooperation with the UN for you. Another question I have is on financing. In your application, you say that 64% of your budget is given by a fund. And in what office you receive the funding from that organization, Bushkimir, and what projects are funded? I thank the distinguished representative of the Russian Federation, and perhaps you can send the reply to the email of the committee, because we are running short of time. However, we will hear the question from the distinguished representative of Iran.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I would also like to thank the representative of the organization for coming to the meeting. My delegation is interested to have a detailed, update on the activities of the NGO during 2017 and what they plan for the 2018, by the end of this year, we are interested to have an update of activities of the organization during these 2 years. Thank you.
Gracias al distinguido.
I thank the distinguished representative of Iran, and we hope the representative of the organization has taken note of the questions put so that replies can be sent to the committee so that we are able to thoroughly evaluate your application for consultative status. We thank you for coming in and joining us, and we thank you for coming this far to share with us information on your organization. We are very grateful. Unfortunately, we cannot extend this session because of the rules where we can't allot more time than has been given. Thank you once again, and could you please return, or would you like to make a final comment?
Очень удивлен, что принято это как политическое заявление.
I am very surprised that this statement was taken as a political one, where I wanted to address decisions taken by the Ataman, and I find it regrettable that you did not listen to me all the way through. However, I thank you.
Bien distinguido.